Hello there everyone, welcome to a new Let's Play with me, your host Tim. And today, we're going to start playing through Mundaun together. There will be some prep here that you can skip by going to the comments section down below, where you will find a pinned comment from me. There'll be a timestamp in that, which will let you jump ahead to where we skip this prep, in case you don't want to hear me talk about what this game is, how far I've gotten it, why we're playing it, and any special stuff I'll be doing as we play this game together. This should take like 6 minutes or so. Well, let's go ahead and get the prep done then. Mundaun is a first-person survival horror game of sorts. I have not gotten very far in it at all. I've maybe played the game for an hour, and most of that was spent wandering around our grandfather's house where we started out, or where we will start out soon enough when we start playing the game. I have not gotten involved in a single battle, and I have not had to survive a single day yet. There is food in the game, though I do not know if it's required for us to eat it. I think there are other statistics that we'll have to manage for our character, but I don't know this for sure. I have seen a few of the trailers for the game, and from what I can tell, it is going to be a bit chaotic at some points, and I'm looking forward to seeing those parts. I have gotten as far in the game as arriving just outside the chapel, but I have not yet made it inside the location. I will show you here. So here's as far as I got. That's it. So if there's anything else involved in it, I'm unaware what it will be. But I found it rather disturbing, some of what's involved, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it with you guys as we go forward. Going forward together, you should know that the game is voiced. However, the voice is not in English. It is, I want to say it's either Swiss or Italian, or some dialect of the two. I think it's extremely atmospheric, and I like hearing games that are not done with, that are not done in English, and so I will be leaving it in the dialect that it is. I don't know how to do the reading of the English version of it though. So, which is to say, I don't know if I should talk over the voices as they speak, if I shouldn't talk at all and you guys can just read the subtitles, or if I should wait for the dialogue to finish and then read what is said. So, I plan on uploading the first of these to my channel starting tomorrow, August 9th. And then I will wait a week to upload the next one in the series. This will give me a chance to read what you guys would like me to do when it comes to the dialogue in-game, and depending upon whichever one of them gets the most votes is what I will decide to do. There is a bit of text in the game in the form of books or letters, or things that our character himself will comment about and write in his journal. I will be reading all of these things as we find them. I have not obviously, I have not played this game for very long, so I do not know much about it. Most of this will be blind. As such, you can expect me to probably bumble about a bit. The game has, where I can tell, secret stuff for us to find, and you guys know by now that I want to try to find all the secrets that I can. So some of this will be done on screen. As such, I will try to keep it entertaining for you guys by talking during our time walking around. But because of the atmosphere of this game, I will try to keep the joking and the stuff I talk about off topic to a minimum. There might be some of it, especially if I die or make some obvious mistakes, but otherwise I will try to keep that again to a minimum as to not ruin the atmosphere of the game that we'll experience together. I can't think of too much of anything else to say, so I might talk a little bit about the gameplay mechanics as we encounter them and what I've discovered so far. You should know that from what I have read on the Steam forums about this game in prep for this, the game might have a few glitches here or there. I think most of the bugs have been ironed out, but if I begin to experience some, and from what I have read, one or two of them might be game breaking, we will probably wrap up the game early. But so far I have not experienced any of them, so I'm willing to give the game a chance and see how far we can get. Hopefully, we will experience none of these issues. It's just a warning that if I end up beginning to get upset because we encounter a problem, I will wrap up the video, the playlist right then and there, but I am not expecting to encounter any issues. Alright, so with all that said, I think we're good to go. So I'm going to quickly check on my voice and make sure it came out okay, and then we'll be back to start a new game. So give me a few seconds. Alright everyone, it sounds like my voice is coming out okay. I am a little concerned that my voice might be drowned out if the music or sound becomes very loud during more dramatic portions of the game, but I think it's good, so we'll go forward with this at the moment. Now, a reminder that I don't quite know how to handle speaking during the narrated parts of the game. There's a great deal of this game that is indeed narrated, and so I will, at first, try speaking as the narrator speaks, then I will try speaking after he is done talking, and then I will speak, then I won't speak at all. And so I'll try alternating these things in during the different dialogues that we encounter to see which one you prefer. And you can let me know in the comments section which one I should do. Depending upon how many votes I get, which one, that will decide for me which one I do. If you guys don't care, then I will probably prefer not to do any speaking at all. And we'll just have to deal, well, not deal, but subtitles will suffice. So, with all that said, I think we're good to go. So let's get going. Dear Cordin, many years have passed since you were up here with us. It saddens me to be the bearer of bad news. There has been a fire in the barn of your dear grandfather, Florin. By the time you read this, he will long have been buried. There is no need for you to make your long journey up here. Be assured that Florin loved you very much and was proud of you. Signed, Father Jeremias, Parish of Mundaun. Something about Jeremiah's letter feels odd. I need to see with my own eyes what happened. Investigate burnt down barn. We will have a quest log, everyone, to keep us on track. If we get confused about what we're supposed to do, the journal will tell us, or hint at us what we should do. Some things will be optional, but we'll try to do everything that we can. I suppose I should mention that I also will do no talking on areas or during parts I think are very atmospheric. I don't want to ruin scary parts or something by my talking during them. First day. I forgot how the fog tends to separate this world from the one below. Grandpa's barn was right up this path. Absolutely breathtaking, the view. I've never been on a mountain, at least not high enough to see the clouds below me. That must be amazing. It also means we're pretty high up. I'm imagining the amount of oxygen or atmosphere up here is very thin. Great healthy people with good lungs living up here, I suppose.
Il clevau datat.
Grandpa's barn.
Barjals giudiltalite.
Completely burned out.
Hallå ti. Hej. Ce fa stica?
A candle. Odd. Maybe used for some sort of occult ceremony?
Requiescat in pace. Ruausa în pace. Și-o sbaglio il bottle tot fatti cum meu latin de scola.
A holy candle. Used to bless this place. During the game, when we focus on certain things, the game will zoom in. Sometimes we'll hear sound effects that relate to what we're looking at. I will let it happen for about like 10 seconds or so for every painting or object that this occurs to. I think they did a rather fantastic job adding this mechanic to the game. We can't interact with the candle. Let's take a look and see if there's anything else to be discovered outside the barn before we walk into it. All we know is there was a fire, and our grandfather burned to death in it, if the letter is to be believed. And I don't see why we wouldn't believe the chaplain. Judging from where and how the metal is strewn about the barn, it gives me the impression that it exploded from the inside. The angle at which this has fallen, it definitely flew off of the top of the house. Otherwise, it would have been crumpled inside the house. The fire started in there and burned it on the inside. And this portion of it, this must be where the fireplace was, fallen off and to the back of the barn. We can jump in the game, but not very high at all. We can also crouch in the game. I do not know what that does for us. I suppose it makes us harder to hear, allows us to sneak up on things, though I have not had the opportunity to do that yet in-game. Before we investigate the rest of the barn, let's look around here really quick. Did anything else get flung from the barn? No, it doesn't look like that's the case. Very secluded area up here as well, by the way. Everyone probably likes keeping to themselves, but they're probably also a very... Well, they don't want strangers up here. They probably all know each other. I'm assuming that grandfather wasn't the only one living up here. Looks like our grandfather enjoyed painting. And I think those are skins, maybe wool, left up to be dried and or tanned. Let's see what's inside the barn now.
Il Mundaun è già covrez con neve,
Mundaun is already snow-covered,
con excepzione dels pets jumelins.
except the Black Twin Peaks.
Sin quels ai mai neve.
They never gather any snow. Let's take a better look at that. These don't seem natural to me. Looks like a cultist with a strange hood kneeling on a rock edifice. Oh. 2 burned corpses of horses. And we can't get over them. Oh, how horrible to die like this. We can't move them or interact with them, unfortunately. At least I don't think we can. Oh, by the way, yes, we have a body. And we will cast a shadow as well. Yeah, I think these are supposed to be sheepskins. Or wool. I am completely unfamiliar with the process of this at all. But I think that's what this is, as opposed to, say, straw hung out here. That's interesting. It's a portrait of the barn burning.
Passa bene, mia giovane. Posso seguire te non? Aitra, ade specifiche ciot.
Ce este vus?
Già, un miglia de te non.
Sai liber mai.
Ascoltate vostro. Ma con prima di regali cacciosa, perché tu abbias di ment. Un uomo e la betant che si spürt ad mem.
I don't know if you can make it out. And I have no cursor to draw your attention to it, but sitting here is the burnt/ashed remains of, I think, our grandfather. There's a pipe in the center of the screen, and we can see his eyes just above it. He's got two hands clasped by his pipe. And there's the bottom of his feet. He appears to be sitting. And it's burned partially into the wall. Dear God, is that you, Grandpa? He must have realized that he was trapped. Just sitting and waiting for the fire. Oh God, what a horrific looking picture. I have to get Grandpa out of this cursed barn somehow. Grandpa, what happened to you? I received this letter from Father Jeremiah some days ago. It says that I lost grandfather. It says that my grandfather lost his life when his barn burned down. Anxious to find out more, I made my journey into the mountains of Mundaun. When this symbol appears, we're able to take something and put it into our pack. Grandpa's beloved pipe. I'll take it as a keepsake. Find tobacco for the pipe. Optional. When it comes to interacting with some objects, the way you know what you're looking at, if it's what you interact with, is if it moves slightly. Here, we can see that if we look away, and we look back at that drawer, we can see the handle move slightly. If I look down, I can see that one move slightly, while the upper one resorts to its original position. So if I hit E at this point, we'll interact with the bottom drawer. And we can see there's nothing within it. The oven protected this from the fire. Grandpa must have put it here for me to find. An old photograph of me as a boy with Grandpa. I love to sit in the Mundaun and pretend to drive it. On the back is a diagram of some kind. Looks like the inner portion of a drawer. We'll have to keep our eye open for some sort of crystal with two handles by it. Or maybe we take the handle and we flip it from this side to unlock whatever this is, or a box of some sort. If Grandpa is still in here, what did Jeremiah bury? Remember that the letter we got from Jeremias indicated that he buried our grandfather and that we didn't have to come up here to see him. Maybe that letter was a way to tell us we shouldn't come here. Judging by what just occurred to us, it's too late. And whoever that person was who knew our grandfather now is aware of us, and we have some part to play in figuring out possibly how to get rid of him.
Quella via maina alla casa veglia de Tat e della caplotta de Jeremias. Casa de Tat. Con l'urgezia raccontava la dina a me che la sei divisa costruita avon centenès.
Benches. I've only found one bench, and it actually wasn't this one. But to my knowledge, when we sit on a bench, we will uncover some of the map of this area. So this is the bench we just sat on, and we can see the barn off to the left. The bus arrives from the southeast section, as well as here is our Grandpa's house. Looks like there's a well of some sort behind it, and another structure. Maybe some sort of fruit tree as well. Since our attention was drawn to the house, why don't we actually go to there next? Judging by the way the hay is laid out, it's slightly after the harvest for it. I'm guessing I think this puts the time frame somewhere around September or October. I believe that's when this is gathered. Actually, it would be gathered whenever it grows to a certain height, I would guess. It doesn't seem like this is the summer up here. But I'd also be unfamiliar with what the weather would be like up in the mountains. From my brief time visiting a friend up in Vermont during July, I guess I shouldn't consider it to be very hot. On July 4th, it was about 45 degrees out at 11 p.m., if I remember correctly. There's no way this pipe is used here.
Na, bullshia.
Yeah, that doesn't work. We need a key of some sort to open that padlock. We didn't find one in the barn or on Grandpa therein. I hope you guys don't mind the slow pace of the game. From my experience of it so far, it is a slow-paced game, but I very much like it. So hopefully it will be acceptable to you guys as well. Looks like Grandpa had a small extension built on his house. I do not know if there's fall damage in the game. So far, I have not sustained any, if there is some. Some binoculars. We'll probably want to investigate the structures around Grandpa's house as well to start. I didn't do so when I had been playing this game earlier. I explored Grandpa's house, made my way to the graveyard, and after that to the chapel, and that's when I stopped.
Je fijne fotografie alsjeblieft, de Michael.
What's a faded photo of me doing here? I think this shows our current statistics. Sanity, I think, is the upper portion. Health is the middle. And I don't understand what the bottom one is. Weapon degradation? I'm not sure what that means. In my time playing the game, I got a tiny bit of health, no sanity, and I didn't find anything of this. But again, I didn't play the game for very long at all.
Observați-ci mai. Observați-ci mai. Il muvel manca sil placat.
The Moval is missing in this poster.
Qua io man conoscevo buon.
Va tocca via in Francia, è la Pyrenees.
Ah, viene dalle Pyrenees. E c'è crap speciale, c'è qualità speciale al questo crap. Se guarda qui questo polvere, questo è l'uomo.
Qua è crap e craps.
Qua è
Make coffee. Optional. I do not know how to make coffee with what Grandfather has here, but we can store the coffee here. And it looks like there's space for more items. Looks like there's more coffee that can be stored. And some teacups, or I suppose to drink it in. Looks like there's a spot for a pan as well. And it looks like logs can be placed down here if we find any. So we ate some bread, very delicious, and we can take one of the teacups from the table. Nothing in the oven. I believe that's what this is. Oh, hold on. There is... No. We can place something there. If you guys know me by now, and you remember the video I shot of myself in my house, I'm a very organized and neat person. I like making sure everything is put in its proper spots. There might be something behind the oven, but we can't get behind it. Some matches. 3 in this matchbox. You can save your game manually at grandfather clocks. The game also saves automatically at key moments. This looks like this was for a baby. Unless grandfather slept there. Though this looks like a more appropriate bed. If a bit hard to rest on.
Una fotografia de tat durant lo jara.
It's a photo of Grandpa from the war.
La mai cinciao de quei temps.
He never talked about that time. The music that is played is very ominous whenever you save the game at the grandfather clocks, and makes me think there was some penalty for you doing so. I'm wondering if that will be the case.
Yes, I proprio bodrumios.
Okay, this is indeed our bed. Or where we will go to sleep, I suppose. I can't quite make out what that is. On the far side. It looks like there's spikes coming out of it, though. I don't recognize it. You guys should know by now that I will shut all doors behind me. We don't live in a barn. That's where grandfather died. Interesting. So certain items that we can interact with will be playing a small sound effect. We should keep our ears open for other such things of that sort.
Implacat per scurzeladas de noite. Eu scurzelava la dine și bugendelas, pleuncas del Mundaun giù.
More matches. Brings us up to 6 of them total. I think this is a battery. Actually, let's make sure there's something else in there, right? Correct. We can't store anything in here. To store an item, I believe the game will have a translucent shape of the thing to be put there. There might be a way to look at these so that you can hear what your character says, but I haven't figured it out if there is such a way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a battery. There is a limit to your amount of things you can carry in your backpack, but it's quite a limit from what I can tell. Still, if you know me, you know that I don't like carrying things around with me that I don't intend to immediately use.
Pastors vid la lavura von biaons.
Farmers doing their work in days long gone.
La casa de Tat.
Grandpa's house.
Quella
There's a
lì,
candlelight
candai,
coming
vi
from the
vede
bedroom
la
window.
finestra della camera de dormir. La compagnia de Tat durant l'uiara si la bandiera a in soleil. La persona il sinistra del tot vese buoschi in giuldau.
Barred shut. Well, there must be another way to open it somewhere. We don't have a key to enter this location. Or do we? But it looks like it requires a cross-shaped key.
Na, bogia.
I didn't find a way to get in here when I was playing the game earlier. If there is a way, I suspect there's a secret lever or switch somewhere in the house. Because it doesn't look like this has a key. There is a keyhole to it, but there's no image that shows up for us to interact with it with a key. So there must be a way to enter it, but I don't know where that is.
Mia combra veglia, cura che hai viveu tiertat. Ci appendeu si quecau.
I'm assuming it's been years since we lived here. I'm surprised he... Actually, I'm not quite sure why he would take offense with this, but I actually don't know what this represents either. I'm guessing it's some sort of holy symbol, but obviously not to anything related to the church. If it is a cross, I don't recognize it at all. We must have had quite an imagination when we were young. I wonder if this is based on a book we read or if we drew this. A path for us to take. Up to the left. It looks like there's a tunnel or something up there. I didn't notice that before when I had played. Maybe we should go there before we visit the grave.
Observați ci mai.
toy soldiers. Would make sense, I suppose, for our grandfather to make little toy soldiers of the war, since he was in it. I wonder if one of them is us. The symbol up there, on the right, by the way, we saw that above the cave in the piece of the map we just picked up. Grandpa's study was strictly off limits. Children are curious, however. Looks like we made a hole to spy on what was happening inside of here. I want to use my binoculars. There we go. We stared directly at a portrait of the church where the sun is surrounding the crucifix atop, or the cross up on top. Looks like a big fireplace there. Something of interest. There's a note there, and there's something else on that table or desk or fireplace. I used to venture out with a screwdriver when I got bored. I see you took all the signs. I wonder if we'll have to replace them at some point. This is also probably hinted to all the places of import which are around this area. Alright, well, there was our room. Nothing else that I noticed in here. From what I can tell, we cannot just choose an item in our inventory to place it on something else either. We must use what the game puts in front of us. It will hint then if we can use something from our inventory if we're carrying something. Well, it's been quite a walk.
Oh.
Oh. Well, it sounds like we were just doing one thing and not the second. We'll probably want to find some toilet paper, though. The water isn't on. We'll need to see what's happening with that. This was the extension built onto the house. What did Grandpa have in here? A bottle of wine. The big... There, by the big cross, is the graveyard. Interesting. A secret only apparently the deal with, effectively, or what seems to be the devil, could let us find. A sleigh, with no means to take it down off of there at the moment.
I jorden do jaren de tat.
Grandpa's things from the war.
Huh?
What a bizarre lock. We need some sort of toy soldier to open this. We weren't able to take any of the things down below. Looks like Grandpa's war outfit. Another picture. I see a cross over there. Probably the Holy Bible as well. Okay, well, let's look at our map. I'm probably going to want to see what's up with the water, since the house doesn't have any going to it currently. And we'll want to investigate this path as well. Let's take a look at the water first, and see if there's something we can turn on. Judging from the fact that this has an inside bathroom, I'm imagining there is a well connected to the house somewhere. And probably a septic system someplace as well. Probably out on this field. It's not like they're going to have city water or sewage here. Oh, the water is on. That's good. I think. But this isn't a well. It's a trough. I don't think I want to put the wine in there. We don't have a cup or bottles to take water. So we might have to find something to allow us to do so. Oh, that's interesting. Was our grandfather producing coffee? Like, was he hired by this company, I wonder? Was Lotaeri Mundaun? Für maken koffie. Maakt moede manner metig.
Quels pretending que café fece courage.
Oh, okay. So coffee must earn us that sanity for our stats. We couldn't set fire to this, but I don't see why I would want to do that.
La clave rotta.
The key broke off. Well, at least it got us in. And there's more coffee here. Some bottles, but we can't take those. Oh, you know what, Tim? You probably need water to make the coffee. There's a pot. Can we take the pot and fill the pot with water? Then, well, it's a pan, really. Okay, before we leave, let's look at this. Make sure we didn't miss anything in here. Or at least give it at least a cursory glance to make sure I didn't. And I don't see anything in here that we missed. I can shut you. I can shut you. More sheepskins, more hay. could be something hidden under the straw, but I'm not willing to burn it, not inside the shed. Let's check around the back. Oh, hello. There was a second floor. That's very interesting. A mask is missing. Interesting.
Ina tonja.
I already have one, which is all I need. Okay, we can only have one battery. Mental note, there's a second here. I'm not allowed to look at the masks or interact with them. Curious. That absolutely has to have some other meaning to it, though. I don't see anything else up here that would interest us. Okay, everyone. I think we should stop here. So I'm going to go back to our house, or Grandpa's house, which I suppose is our house now. I'll store some things there, which I guess you'll watch me do. We'll save the game, and then we'll stop here. And hopefully you guys have liked what you've seen so far. Again, it's slow-paced, at least in the beginning, but I really like the atmosphere to this game. And based on some of the things which have already occurred to us, I'm very intrigued as to what's going on here. And I suspect we'll find out more about it in the next episode. Please let me know, by the way, again, if you guys could, but you don't have to, obviously. If I don't get any answers, that's fine too. But let me know how you would like me to do or handle the speaking when it comes to the dialogue in the game.
Quel sai eu dovrà apitar per magasinar causas.
Okay, so that will do it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone. And also remember that the next one's going to go up a week from today, or so, just about. I want to wait till mid-August to begin uploading the actually scary games. But I do want your guys' opinions on what I should do for this before I begin recording more of it. So thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.